We are through the opening round of this year's playoff, and now the pressure is mounting in the quarterfinals. A matchup between one side that's had time to rest and recover, and another team that's battle-tested, already off one playoff victory. As we'll see the number 8 seed in this playoff, the Florida State Seminoles, taking on the top-seeded team in the playoff, the USC Trojans. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler. You're in the booth with Kirk Herbstreit. And here we go, a college football playoff quarterfinal game. Only one team here can keep their championship dreams alive. Kickoff team is out there. Great energy as this playoff game is about to get underway. And so it'll be a touchback. Ball spotted at the 25. So USC's offense will have the football first here. Of course, this game in Atlanta, I think, is the mecca of college football. And over the years here in the Peach Bowl, we've seen underdog teams like UCF and Houston really come in here and make their own piece of history.
And Chris, think about it. The Peach Bowl, kind of like the Cotton Bowl, has been a major winner in this playoff expansion. They put on a great game, and they've already had some memorable moments. Who could forget in 2022, the field goal in the game that potentially wins it for Ohio State was kicked in 2022 and wide left and hits the ground in the year 2023.
Great job by the offensive line here, opening up some holes and giving the running back room to run on first down. Plays like this can open up the playbook for the play caller, allow him to make that defense think, are they going to run? Maybe play action, maybe throw the ball downfield.
And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage. Getting set. Here's second down. And the tailback's got it again. Breaks loose at the 40. An explosive play across midfield all the way to the 41. The big fella's Kirk flowing to the right there. The defense just has no answer. It's a huge gain.
Yeah, and what patience there by the running back, just allowing those blocks to be set up there off to the right, and then once he saw the crease in the defense, accelerates through that hole to show you what kind of speed he has for a big gain and a first down.
You know, they finally stopped it, but a decent gain that time.
I tell you, to be able to pick up a nice gain like that, those offensive linemen have to sustain their blocks. Gave them a chance at a really nice gain.
On the handout, they'll test the right side here. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
Well, you'd love to see a few more yards here to give yourself a better chance on third down. Now, here early in this game, we get a big third down to see if this offensive line can keep the pressure off the quarterback.
Offense moving to a bunch formation. Caught in the backfield. It's Jordan. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up a first down.
Oh, the defense. They get this offense to a third down early in the game, a chance to get him off the field, but instead this quarterback shows you why they've had such a great year with a conversion.
And the Trojans pick up first down yards to keep the drive going. Handoff heading left. The ball carrier taken down, but there's a flag on the field. Illegal offense. Pretty easy call for the head coach. He will accept that penalty, of course. First down play call coming up. How aggressive will it be? And the quarterback drops back, looking for an open man. Looking to set up a screen pass here. And a big game before he goes out of bounds. The offense keeps churning, gets a fresh set of downs.
Early on in a football game, the offense always wants to try to develop just a nice rhythm to their offense. That time, just a simple screen to the running back, and they build some confidence on this first drive with a nice play.
Well, they try the middle, but stuck for no gain.
Chris, textbook job by the defense, surrounding the runner and preventing that play from being bounced to the outside.
Offense getting set. Second down play here. And they're moving the receiver now before the snap. Quick pass. Here comes a jet sweep. Got space. Looking to score. And he will score. Touchdown, Trojans. You come out in the playoff game, Kirk, no signs of rust for the offense immediately.
Yeah, no jitters at all. After the layoff, I wondered how they might be able to come out and communicate and actually just the rhythm to the offense. But they did not hesitate. They set the tone early. Now they got themselves a lead.
He'll return it from inside the 10-yard line. And the returner brought down by the coverage team there. So the Seminoles offense comes out for their first possession today. All right, Kirk, let's take a quick look at the impact players for today's game and how they're going to affect the outcome.
These are your leaders on the field and in the locker room. These are your go-to guys, not only when you need a play to be made, but also when you need somebody to rally your team.
Opening play of the drive, quick throw to the left. To get him down quickly, not much of a gain on that completion.
How about this defense? That is called team pursuit. Swarming to this wide receiver on the screen, not allowing him to get his momentum upfield.
Offense getting set up. Here's second down. Shotgun formation. Here's an inside handoff. The game moves the ball to the 20-yard line.
Man, you know, the back gets a lot of the attention here. He's a good back. I love to see that offensive line win the battle of the line of scrimmage.
Going to pick up the third and short through the air. He's going to take off. Breaking free at the 35. They finally get him down, but that is a huge play. Quarterback doing it with his legs.
Man, it is fun to watch this guy get out in the open field. I didn't realize he could run like this. That's a big game for this offense.
The offense with some pre-snap motion. Handoff here from the shotgun. Brought down after a solid run by the senior.
Another first down and another good run by this back from Florida State. He's doing his job as far as living up to the great tradition of Florida State running backs.
Offense switches it up here, looking to throw the ball now. Finds that big tight end for a short pass. Tackle is made, just a short gain after the completion.
Boy, that's pretty good coverage here by this defense. Not much of a window to throw this ball into, but the quarterback's accuracy and the size of the tight end picks up a nice game.
That completion makes it second and medium. Back to pass. It's Kromenhoek. Quarterback escapes the pocket. He's going to take off here. He'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
How about this by the quarterback? He takes a negative play and turns it into positive yards and slides down before taking a big shot. It's an excellent job of getting down to avoid that big hit.
Third down, out of the shotgun. Hit as he releases it, and the pass ball is incomplete. So on fourth down, they will settle for a field goal attempt. And that kick right down the middle. Can't hit it any better than that.
Snap, the hold, the kick, everything there perfect to put 3 points up here for the offense.
So after the field goal, the kicker out there again to boot it away. And the fair catch signaled for and taken. And the Trojans offense is back out on the field. They really had the defense off balance in the last possession, mixing the run and pass extremely well. Here comes a handoff. The gain moves the ball to the 34. Second down after that run on the previous play. They'll feed the back again. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Well, they run it right into a blitz, and that linebacker was coming downhill, Kirk.
Man, what a time to call that blitz here by the defensive coordinator. You're right. He shoots right through that A-gap. Really, the back had nowhere to go. By the time he got the ball in his hands, the linebacker's right in his face. Man, when your quarterback can run the football like this, it puts so much pressure on the defense. The defense coordinator spent all week preparing his unit to be able to stop this offense. But when this quarterback's able to pull it down and pick up yards like that, it's an extra headache for the defense to have to deal with.
And it's USC in front, Kirk, as we break for the quarter. We've reached the end of 1 in this quest to move 1 step closer to a national championship. Let's check out the stats so far. Through one period, these teams are finding out that playoff games just feel different. Who can handle the nerves better as we head to the second? So here we go. First play of the quarter. The offense has a first down. They'll run it here. Only a small gain. Now looking at 2nd and 9.
Chris, you know, the spread era over the years has always grown offensively, but I've been always impressed with defenses that really build their defense to play in space, still have an ability to be sound at the line of scrimmage and defend a running game. It's exactly what we saw right there.
Grab behind the line. It's Jordan. Defense reacts quickly. A very short gain on the play.
Well, anytime an offensive coordinator calls a wide receiver screen, he's trying to get offensive linemen out in front of the receiver to create a wall so that receiver can pick a lane to run through. How about the defense here, though? That's called team pursuit and swarming to the football. They didn't give him any lanes, so not much yards downfield for the receiver.
The Trojans will have to kick this away. That's the first punt of the afternoon for this offense. Fair catch made at the 20. And the Seminoles offense comes back on the field. They settled for a field goal last time. Let's see what they can come up with on this possession. Falls incomplete, broken up by the defender nicely that time.
Well, I'm a big fan of the RPO, but it is a dangerous play for the quarterback. You got to make the right decision. On this play, it just seemed like he was a little hesitant, unsure, and it cost him here with an incompletion.
He finds some space. They bring him down, but an explosive play by this offense. Big game. And the Seminoles come to the line looking to crank up the tempo.
There's nothing more that helps an offense than committing to that running game and popping an explosive run like this on the ground. Keeps the confidence of your offensive lineup. Same with your back. It helps everything else that you're doing as an offense in your rhythm. Now you can come back with some counters, try to take some shots off of play action, and keep hammering away with that run game.
Incompletion sets up a second down. Back to pass. It's Kromenhoek. Running back has it on the screen now. And he's brought down. Good job by the defense getting through the blockers, but we stopped short of the first down.
The defense is so caught up in this guy running the football on this drive, they forgot to defend him coming out of the backfield. Nice positive play here.
On third down, he drops to throw. And looking for a big play here. Throws a fastball, but it's intercepted. And he's wrapped up after a solid return.
Boy, just a drive killer right there, Chris. They didn't seem to throw that ball with much confidence. Just put it up for grabs, and the defense comes down with it.
And here comes the USC offense back on the field. They were forced to punt it last time. Now they're looking to respond and add to this lead. Tackle made at the 41. It's a nice game. They're getting closer to the 50.
Boy, a thing of beauty, right, Chris? A USC running back picking up a first down on the ground, and they have so many great backs, and probably as many as anybody when it comes to counting up individual stars. I'm going back to guys like Charles White and Marcus Allen. Both won the Heisman Trophy.
And a nice first down game there. They get him down, but very close to the first down marker.
Boy, positive yards there on 1st and 10. Good job up front by that offensive line. Good hard running by this running back. And now you got a lot of options. That playbook can really open up on 2nd and inches.
They stop him, but it's a first down.
Chris, I just love to see this offensive line in this running game able to establish themselves. This back is already over 50 yards. We're in the first half, so really good job of establishing the run game. Opens up the play action, opens up one-on-one opportunities. Just keep winning the battle up front.
Second down here. Time for one more play before the 2-minute warning.
I think this defense keeps thinking about them throwing the football, and by doing that, they're opening up running lanes. Good positive yards there by the running back.
That's a big gain before he goes out of bounds. It'll move the sticks more than enough for a first down. And the Trojans begin a new series here, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jackson. Able to fight for a decent gain here in that running play. And the Trojans looking to cash in this red zone trip. They flip it to him on the jet sweep. And the senior able to make the stop after a short game.
Boy, I'm a big fan of that jet sweep motion like that. It really forces the defense to stretch them out horizontally and can create some vertical seams for this offense. They got some positive yards. Didn't quite get the first down, but I'll tell you what they've done. Planted a seed on this defense, and they better defend this style of play moving forward.
So early movement from the offense. That'll push them back 5. And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage. Now it's 3rd and short from the 22. You expect this is 4-down territory. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. Dropping back, looking to throw for the 1st down. The defense stops him just short of the marker. That'll bring up 4th down. Timeout is called to talk strategy late in this close game with halftime approaching. So they'll pass up the chip shot field goal attempt and go for it on 4th down. And it looks like the quarterback's going to run it. Good enough for 1st down yardage.
Boy, that is some determination by this offense here. Picking up a new set of downs on the run. The call works out perfectly. You just needed 2 yards. You pick it up. And now you've got another chance at points.
And the Trojans line it up with 1st and goal. 1st and goal, they'll try to run it in. They finally corral him at the 1.
Chris, it's the consistency of this back is giving this defense some fits. They've got to come up with some changes up front. This guy's already over 50 yards, and if he keeps running the way he is, not only is he having a great day, but it's going to give this quarterback a chance to hit some big plays downfield off play action.
Try to muscle toward the end zone on the ground. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, USC. That kind of execution with a long drive, that's why this team made it to the college football playoff.
That's exactly right. Being able to mix in the run with the pass, picking up 1st downs, and eventually coming up with the touchdown. That is a tough thing to do, and they made it look easy.
Return starts from inside the 5. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. The offense comes back out there. Not much time left. Perhaps just time for a couple plays before the half. Hands off to the left. Breaks a tackle on the play. Makes a decent gain. And that will do it for the 1st half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update.
Thanks, Chris. The magnitude and intensity of these playoff matchups is always something special to be a part of. And it's been said football is a game of inches. And guess what? Based on the comparison between 3rd down conversion rate today and the average yard per play, how can you argue that? I mean, the low-lying fruit is to look at some of the explosive plays we've seen in panic. But really, this game is going to come down to which team is more efficient when they have the ball and how they play when it matters most.
The Trojans will kick this away to get the 2nd half going. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. Makes it to the 16. That's good coverage there. And Here comes the Florida State offense on the field. For the first play of the drive, they'll set up at the 16. And they'll start the third quarter here on the ground.
The defense coordinator this week all week telling us about gap integrity, not giving this running back any creases at all. Really sound defense on that play.
To the air, it's Cromenhoek. Throws to the tight end. Looks downfield and connects with a wide-open wide receiver. And that is a first down gain. Moves the ball to the 40.
Another great throw by this quarterback to be able to pick up a first down and keep this drive alive. But there, he's starting to kind of feel like he's getting into a zone. And boy, Chris, over the years, how many Florida State quarterbacks have we seen get in that zone? Guys like Chris Weinke and Jameis Winston, Charlie Ward. Man, so many good signal callers that have played at FSU.
The Seminoles will crank up the tempo. He'll hand it off. But a quick stop by the defense. Gain just 2, so it's 3rd and 8. Urgency now for the offense that hates to come up empty on this drive, down multiple scores. Drops back, needing a 3rd down completion here. Catch made down the left side, an explosive play. They could not stop him. He's in. Offense still out there, down by 5. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion and make this a 3-point game. That's a crucial response by this offense, but still plenty of work to do here in the third quarter.
Well, I love that they're still fighting and competing. You can tell they've made some adjustments at half and try to get them back into this game. And that score is a great start.
He'll return it from inside the 5. Stop at the 22. That's pretty solid coverage there. And the USC offense is back out on the field. The last drive, the ground game, was so successful. Ended in a touchdown. We'll see if the defense can respond to it this time. They'll actually lose yardage after the catch. The defense all over him that time.
This is a great job of being prepared by this defense. Almost anticipating this play. They're in position to bring him down for a loss.
Quick throw complete to the tight end. And they bring him down. That's a very solid gain, but still well short of the marker.
Well, this is what coaches love to see. A quarterback with the ability to read the defense properly and then just get it to the open man. Sometimes it sounds simple, but it's tough to execute. This time we have good recognition by the quarterback, and he gets it down to the tight end. You can see what he can do after the catch.
Quarterback appears to be changing the play. Drops back, looking to throw for it on 3rd down. Grab down the middle. It's Jordan. Defense stops him short of the marker, so now it's 4th down.
Chris, great effort here by this defense to keep him short of the 1st down. Now they've got a tough decision to make here on this 4th down and short.
Tackle at the 35, good enough for a 1st down.
Man, that is a gutsy call to go for it on 4th down in your own territory. But you can see that this coach is confident in his offense and going to their go-to plays that they call up specifically for these situations.
The stop made at the 45, but enough for a 1st down.
Nothing better than an offense on 1st down to be able to pick up big positive yards like that. You can either keep giving it to the back, or it can set up play action and get the defense to come up to the line of scrimmage, and you can throw it over top of them.
On 1st down, why not keep it on the ground? One down after a 7-yard gain, so it's 2nd and 3.
Well, much like what we saw in the first half, Chris, in his playoff game, no adjustments, go right back to giving his running back the football. He's had a monster day and continues to get positive yards.
He's stopped, but he gets a 1st down.
Look, I realize on any play call, when it's properly executed, it can go to the house for a touchdown. But the runs that really make a game plan work are the ones where you get just what you need. And he barely got the 1st down, but he got it.
And he will be stuffed for no gain.
That's a great play all around by this defense. Your first-level defenders hold their own at the point of attack, allowing the second and third-level players to roam free and make the tackle close to the line of scrimmage.
7-yard gain sets up a 3rd and 3.
I know this defense worked very hard at halftime to come up with answers on how to try to slow down this running back after the big first half, and he's already at it again.
Gain moves it to the 24. That's a fresh set of downs.
Boy, another nice game by this back. He has had a beautiful day today running the football, just kind of in that zone, and a big reason why they have a nice lead today.
The Trojans have 1st and 10 here. Defense gets him down, but they'll take the gain on that play.
It's a good, solid game. 5 or 6 yards. Love to see that from the running game.
The long drive continues. The offense pushing the ball down the field. He'll ride the back again here. That's a nice tackle there by the senior.
You know, in the era that we live in right now, everybody wants to spread the field around, try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense has countered over the years by trying to play out wide. But here's a great example. The defense has the ability to play wide, but still be solid at the line of scrimmage and not give up big run plays.
And it's USC in front, Kirk, as we break for the quarter. And as we've reached the end of 3, time is running out in this crucial contest for both these programs to stay alive in the quest for a national championship. Let's check out the game summary before we move on. As we head to the 4th, we could be in store for a classic finish. A spot in the next round of the college football playoff is at stake. First play of the quarter is a crucial one. Offense trying to convert this 3rd down. Didn't quite get the playoff in time. That'll be delay of game. Delay of game. Offense. Delay of game penalty will cost the offense 5. Now it's 3rd and short from the 21. Defense trying to make a stand here and prevent a touchdown. Here's the handoff. Tackled, but only after picking up a fresh set of downs.
You know, offensive linemen are just a certain breed. They're always going to do their job, no matter who's back there carrying the ball. I'll tell you what, they have a little bit more confidence when the person that's carrying the ball can break off some big-time runs. That makes them block just a little bit harder, knowing what he's potentially capable of doing.
For the offense, a chance to extend the lead, but more importantly, milk the clock here late in the game. Makes it across the goal line. Touchdown, SC. That's a crucial touchdown, Kirk. The offense padding its lead now here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, you get into this 2nd half, you start to count possessions and how big your lead is. Now that you're up 2 possessions, you can start to play really smart football, not just on offense, but on defense as well.
And he takes this from inside the 5. And the returner is brought down. And the Florida State offense heads back onto the field. Fresh set of downs for the offense. 1st down. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. With the catch, it's Williams. Defense surrounds him. Just a short gain on that completion.
Well, we just continue to see this defense make great plays, especially with their tackling. And the awareness to understand we're in the 4th quarter, you're trying to keep this offense in bounds so they keep that clock moving.
Defense makes the stop after the completion.
Well, 4th quarter down by a couple of scores. This offense doing everything they can to not just score points, but do it in a hurry, try to preserve the clock. Here, they're tackled in bounds. They don't pick up a 1st down. Good job by this defense to keep that clock moving.
Grab near the sticks. It's Lucas. May wrap them up, but the gain is good enough for a 1st down. The Noles will hustle to the line to run the hurry-up offense. Looking to chuck it again. Finds his man. It's Lucas. They stopped the receiver, but that's a solid gain on that play. The completion makes it 2nd and short.
Well, it's another positive play, but man, look at the clock and look at the score. You still need a couple touchdowns to be able to get yourself back into this game and have a chance to win it. So you've got to keep moving here and keep taking those shots downfield.
After the incompletion, they'll come to the line with 3rd and 1. Looking to pick up the first down through the air. Doesn't hold on. Good hit by the DB. Now it brings up 4th down.
Oh, the quarterback and receiver just not quite on the same page. But the good news is it's 4th down and short. And trailing in this game, you've got to convert here to keep your hopes alive.
The offense stays on the field, down multiple possessions. Easy choice. Here we go, 4th down. They'll try to run for it. No, he didn't get there. Tackled short of the marker. That is a crushing play as they try to cut in to this lead. 1st down here for this offense. And, of course, they'll work the clock here, keep it on the ground, finding enough space for a solid gain before they stop.
Chris, good job here on that stop, but remember the ball is inbounds and the clock keeps moving here late in the game and you're trailing. As a defense, got to start thinking about utilizing those timeouts. You got all 3 to use. At what point are you going to start putting those into play?
Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play.
Yeah, I like this call here late in the game like this with the lead. Nothing too fancy, just right up the middle. Trust that offensive line and this running back and just keep working that clock.
Looking for a gap. It's Jackson. 5-yard gain, so it's 2nd and 5.
Great job by the running back of staying inbounds to continue to work that clock, working here in the 4th quarter with the lead. You got that defense getting closer and closer to their goal line. They are backed up, and they are desperate. They've got to make a play here. The offense just has to take care of the ball, a chance to really secure victory here.
And that run produces a decent gain. And now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. Here we go, 3rd down, close to the goal line. They can still get a 1st down without scoring. And the quarterback tucks it and takes off as a design run. They stop him at the 4, but it sets up this offense with a 1st and goal. And now it's the defense that calls timeout here, trying to get organized and preserve as much clock as possible. And the Trojans looking to finish the drive here. It's 1st and goal. Keep it on the ground on 1st and goal. Ball carrier brought down at the 4. Offense in great scoring position here. And now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. On 2nd and goal, they hand it to him again. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
What a great play by the defense here, getting close to the goal line. Not only do they come up with a big stop, but they send them backwards in the process.
And they cut into this lead now on 3rd and goal. He'll hand it off. And tackled there by the defense.
Hey, great job here by this defense. It's going to be 4th down and 1. They bent, but they did not break. We'll see if the offense elects to go for it here on this 4th down play.
So a yard away from the end zone. The offense will go for it here on 4th down. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. Touchdown, Southern California. This offense is still clicking. Extra point up and good. A 19-point lead now here in the final quarter. Now they get set to kick it away. Fields it just outside the goal line. And he stopped at the 20, trying to make something happen, but that's good coverage there. And the Seminoles offense comes back on the field. This has been a rough game for these guys. Not much left to do but play for pride. First down play call. How aggressive will it be? They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The pocket breaking down. And with nobody open, he chooses to just throw it away.
Chris, on this play, he has nobody open. It's better than taking a sack. He doesn't get intentional grounding because where he threw it, there was an intended receiver. I think there's no harm, no foul here.
Dropping back, it's Cromenhoek. Bringing pressure.
Boy, the quarterback did about everything he could here to wait for that play to develop, and there was just nobody open. It's great coverage downfield, and instead of taking a sack or potentially throwing the pick, he just gets rid of it.
And he'll drop back here on third down. And the sophomore's got him for a sack. Of course, in the playoffs, it's survive and advance. This is a crucial W. Great performance, but now the stage gets even bigger. The challenges will continue going forward.
Yeah, more and more pressure will grow as this team continues to win football games. But you and I have been around this team all year long. So impressed with the emotions and how they're able to contain themselves, stay focused on the task at hand. They did that again today. They advance. Cannot wait to watch and see what they can do next week.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. Kirk Street, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.